Hey guys, today we have the one and only Audi R8 V10 Performance. We are going to check out why this Audi R8 is a Lamborghini in disguise, check out its interesting bits and pieces, and experience my reaction as we take this thing for a drive. Make sure you stay for the full review because it only gets better from here. Plus, you'll get to see my Riley ranking and my bloopers. And you can get these for about $150K before options, and this will be your last chance to get a V10 in an R8, as Audi claims that the next ones are going to be all electric. Now for the updates that they did for the R8, you get a brand new front end, including brand new headlights, a brand new rear end with brand new taillights, 60 more horsepower, and a better 0 to 60 with the V10 Performance. It also has better handling, and just like this one, you can now get it in a rear-wheel drive version. So this is the Audi R8 Performance, and it used to be called the Audi R8 Plus. And you may think, what is the difference? Why did they change that? Literally nothing. They just thought performance sounded better, and I guess they're right because it is like a performance car. What we have here is a 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10 making almost 600 horsepower. And this big V10 revs to nearly 9,000 RPMs, pushing it to a top speed of 204 miles per hour, making this the fastest car that I have reviewed so far. And this thing goes 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, which is pretty quick for the size of this car. Now, let's give it a listen. Wow, I was really not expecting that. That V10 sounds so good. It sounds like it has guts. It's super throaty, and I cannot wait to take this thing for a drive. So, Audi does this thing to kind of protect its engine from stupid rich people. So it doesn't really let you rev the car if it's cold. It only goes up to like 3,000 RPMs. I'll show you now. So it kind of stops you a little so that you don't blow it up. This car is basically a Lamborghini in a tuxedo. You get that big V10 with that awesome sound coming out of it. You get all of the performance, all of the get up and go, just without the ridiculous price tag or attention. So basically, if you see somebody in their R8 at the gas station, leave them alone because they bought this car to go fast, not all the crazy attention that comes with it. Starting off with the exterior styling of this R8, I mean, literally just look how mean it looks. It is sinister. It looks angry coming down the road at you, which is what you want in your supercar. And you may be wondering, what does R8 stand for? R probably stands for racing, and 8 is the highest number in Audi's lineup. So put that together, you have this gorgeous R8 here. And just moving along the side here, we have these little tiny fenders, which are so cute, but they are a staggering $2,000 a piece to replace. So you go missing your fender, forget about putting it back on, okay? And then coming down the side, we have our iconic vents down here that you see with all the Audi R8s. And then right above that, we have our fuel cap on this little panel here, would make it a little difficult to get gas because you're gonna like wheelie it out of there or have some napkins to catch it because it's kind of a strange position. It's not like down here or anything. And then we have our door handles hidden right under this line here in a very supercar manner, and I'll show you how to get in there in just a sec. I need you to go check out me on my socials in the description. I love checking out cars on the side, but I post all of my best content in the link below. And thank you so much to Coastline Exotic for letting me review this awesome R8 to show you guys. And if you want to rent this exact R8, you just have to call the number below. Now, moving on to the back end of the R8 here. And as you can see, it looks just as mean back here as it does in the front. And just a few things to note. We have our iconic glass that you can see your big old V10 through. We have some vents along the bottom and the sides there to give it some extra cooling. We have our hidden third brake light right up at the top of that glass. And then we have this awesome wing for when you want to go super fast. And we have these really nice updated taillights that do a little cute swoopy motion when you turn on your turning signals. And I absolutely love everything they did with the redesign of the R8 except this. They just threw a hunk of plastic across the back of here. They only have it open right there and right there. Everything else is closed off. And you would think, why would they do that? The motor's right there. It needs all the cooling. It needs all the air. It needs the flowiness, you know, cool this sucker down when you're driving. But no, let's just close it off. Come on, Audi, just open up the little holes. And for whatever reason, which is shocking, okay, they threw a fake vent right here. Like, why couldn't it just be real and functioning? Your whole motor is right there. To get into the engine bay of your Audi R8 and lift this glass piece up, there is this little tiny button behind the driver's seat. It's almost like a little window switch, but you can only have this come up when the engine is on, which is super weird because what if you break down? What if you need to get in here for anything? How are you gonna do it? That's crazy. And it also, something to note is it is very hot back here. Like this whole area, like even over here in the little quarter panel areas, like it's a lot of heat. Like we've only been driving this car for a couple minutes and it is just on fire back here. So, and interestingly, they give you this little extra piece on your window here so that when you close this down, you actually press on this and you don't leave fingerprints all over your back window here. And the mods that this owner has done is a full Capristo carbon fiber kit, which reduces weight, improves aero, and they also have a Capristo exhaust system. Now, to get into your frunk, because this is the only storage that you have in this car, considering your motor is in the back there, you just pull up on this really easy and ergonomic latch, which you do not see very often. It's usually when you like push to the side. This is when you push up, actually. And then we just lift up here. And just a couple things to note about this frunk area. It's actually pretty deep. You can fit a lot in there, actually. We have a couple little nets right here for smaller items. You have a 12-volt down there and a little light. We have our washer fluid right above this section here, and the little kidnappy handle is a little different than most other kidnap handles. You have to pull the entire mechanism around it. And also, if you lift up the bottom of this frunk area, there is a little emergency kit there for you as well. So let's see if I fit in this sucker. All right, see if I fit in this one. It's actually very roomy. Here we are. Not so bad. And y'all, my editor won't let me out until you subscribe to me. And even though opening it is pretty easy, it's a little hassle to close this frunk here. So you don't have one, but you have 2 and 3 latches all up in here, and you have to make sure that they are all closed before you take off. So, of course, you have your one in the middle, and then you have to go over here, press down on this one, and then go all the way over here and press down on this one, and now your hood is securely closed. Now, let's get inside of this R8. And like I said, you have these little handles under the door here, which just pops open. And this is the key you get with your R8. It is actually pretty heavy. So, I mean, you're obviously driving in luxury sportiness here. Overall, first impressions of this car, oh my gosh, it's nice, like looking here. And then you look over here and it's like basic. It's just plain. It has like 3 major things in your little gear shifter, and I guess some controls to control your screen up in there, but that's the only screen you get. So I mean, it is very race car-y, but it is still super nice. It has nice leather. I mean, it's obviously just fine, you know, especially for the price tag of this. And then this feels like a little cheap, a little plasticky, especially for, you know, everything else. Like I like the steering wheel. I like that the carbon was brought in here. And just a few things about this little area here. We have our dash, which is just kind of like big and obtruding and kind of like weirdly oddly shaped with this kind of different material. It's not like plastic, but it's something else. And then you have this rear wheel drive badge here. Underline, 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 underline. Rear wheel drive badge. And in the all-wheel drive one, you get a cool little Quattro badge that sits there instead of that one. And then we have our temperature controls and things like that. I really enjoy that these are actually just easy to use instead of like having to fumble around this little area to like hopefully find them in your screen. Like you just want to get in here, you want to cool off, you want to go fast. So I appreciate that they're simple and easy to use. And to be honest, for as nice as the car looks on the outside, like when I got in here, I was like a little disappointed, to be honest. It's a lot of plastic. Like this is like kind of all just plasticky cheap materials. Like I've been in Mercedes that are half the price and I was blown away by the quality of their interior. It just looks so nice. And for this being like at least $150,000, I just expected a little bit more from Audi, I guess. And that kind of follows into just like these little cheap kind of stalks here. Like they could have leather wrapped it. They could have just made it a little nicer, but no, it's just all kind of plain and plastic. And of course, there is no middle screen here, so anything that your passenger might need, they have to go kind of through you or like be up in your grill, kind of trying to see what's going on in your little gauge cluster dash screen here, because that's all you get. Now, getting into the gauge cluster and how to kind of use this area up in here. We just have a couple little basic plasticky buttons right here on the steering wheel. Not much to see there, but you use this little arrow and you can go through a couple small menus right here on that left side of that screen. You can hit view for a whole different Audi performance details, or you can go down here to the menu button and it takes you to all of your little menus. You can use this little scrolly wheel here for your radio, your media, your navigation settings, things like that. And another cool thing, just like the Porsche Taycan, you can write where you want to go. Cool. Oh, would you look at that? And every time that I've been trying to put like an S into the little screen here, drawing on that, it makes it a 5. So imagine having to like just scroll, 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 hit every single little button in this little tiny menu. Like how annoying when you just want to put something in really quick. And a few odd things about the R8 here is one, this little vent to vent to vent situation. So it starts over here, goes through this little vent, and then comes out the vent to you, which is just so odd. I've never seen before. And then 2, look behind me. There is literally a CD player right here. Like you would think that'd be a blast from the past. No, this is like a 2022. Like, well, what is that doing in there? That's so funny. And then 3, we have these little teeny weeny visors right here that don't do much for your sun in your eyes, but then we got these little teeny weeny mirrors too, and they can't even give you a light for them. What the heck? And for storage, there definitely is not a lot in this car. You have your side pocket doors, of course, which are very tiny. And then we have this little pushback thing all the way back here, which you would kind of miss if you didn't see this little silver piece here. You have a little tiny wireless charger in here, a couple USBs, and a 12-volt back there that you can literally barely see. And then we have our cup holder storage, I guess you would call it there if you're not using your cup holders. This just pops open for you. You have your glove box, which is obviously large because of the abnormally large dash situation going on. And then behind me, you kind of have this little flat shelf that you could put things back there, and then one little tiny net. Also, this is where your key goes, so I guess you can consider this a little teeny storage area. But other than your front trunk, that's about it. This car is small and they don't really give you that much. And just to note, these doors are absolutely massive. Like literally almost the wingspan of me. Okay, taking the Audi R8 for a drive. So, let's take off. I'm so excited for this. That exhaust sounds so good. Oh my gosh. So far, I think this car is like super smooth, but you can definitely feel like its performance kind of underlying, if you know what I mean. It really doesn't like push you around or is too bumpy or anything, kind of like the GT4, how that was more like track focused and driven. This is definitely like a driver's car. It's not a super track car. Like you can definitely take this sucker to the track, but it feels more like car, you know? All right. Oh my gosh. I just love hearing those shifts. Like it's so quick. It's on a dime. It is ready to go fast, and it's telling you that. Absolutely awesome. Not so much just harsh, kicking your butt around kind of car. This is more smooth. It's more nice, but you know that you're super capable of going really freaky fast. This feels so good. It's such a smooth acceleration. Like, it just gives me like little butterflies in my belly. It definitely doesn't like straight punch it. I think that's a good, like, nice, just way to glide into 70 miles an hour, if that makes sense. But I know this thing is absolutely more than capable of kicking it. The steering feels like super kind of tight, but like not too tight. So like I said, it's super like nice and comfortable and like kind of luxury-ishness in here, but it also has that really supercar feel, so it really puts you where you want to go. And the visibility for this car really is pretty good, honestly, even though we have that big wing back there that doesn't really hinder like seeing behind you in your rear view mirror. And like these A-pillars are kind of small, so like it's not hard to just kind of look around. I mean, everything is pretty open, and especially these huge windows, that definitely helps being able to see. And it feels so good, like being so low to the ground. I'm used to driving a much bigger car, and it's just like, I'm just so like nimble and like small and just ready to freaking take off. It just feels kind of like a little jet or something. And I really love, and I'm going to reiterate, the climate controls and things like that, because it's just super easy to just turn the dial up one, you know, it's like, it just works, you know, you're not like fumbling, you're not trying to get in your little infotainment system here, like, you want it up a couple degrees, okay, it's done. I love the ease of that, but I do wish it had like a little bit more technology in here for the age of the car. Obviously, it's very new, so it's like, I mean, come on, update it a little bit, give us a little bit more, you know? And I just feel like this car is just always begging you to go faster, you know? Like, that's what the R8's made for. That's why it's such a good deal compared to like the Lamborghini, you know? Like, it's everything you want in that realm, but without that price tag. And you definitely feel that while sitting in this car and like being right here in the cockpit, as driver focused as it is. And this car does have like a pretty good sound system, but I mean, why would you even want to listen to it? You have the V10 right behind your head. That's all you want to hear. You just want to, that's your entertainment. That's your music. It's just so cool. It sounds so freaking good. And I feel like this car kind of has like two personalities, you know? It has the one where it can go super fast and be super aggressive and fun, but then like you could just leisurely hang around town in this thing, go to the grocery store. Like, it doesn't have to be fast all the time. I like how it's nice in here. It's not like too aggressive, too just sports car-y and like raw. It's nice. It's best of both worlds, if you could call it that. Now for your passenger princess perspective here in the R8. I just love how quick it shifts. Ah! Oh my gosh. Definitely sticks you back in your seat a little bit once you get going hard. Like, oh, that feels so good. But like, it's not like a punch in the gut kind of acceleration. It's like a kind of, I don't know, just like a light push. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I think this car is so much fun. I just love that it has like the back end of all the power behind it. But like right now we're just rolling down the road, you know? It's like, it doesn't always have to be that way, but when you want to, it's there and you're able to just completely punch it. Oh my God, oh my God. Holy cow. This thing is like a little rocket ship. This thing like reminds me of like a fighter jet or something. That thing just freaking shot off. Like, holy cow. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. And it really stays so like planted and stable, and it doesn't get like squirrely in the back like that hard or anything. Like, you feel it just a teeny bit, but like, wow. Oh my God. Oh, like that much power in this little car. Like, oh my gosh, it just makes it feel so much faster. This thing is awesome. And compared to like the GT4 RS, like I feel like this is just such like a better, obviously like kind of daily driver, because you do have that power, but you do have the luxuriousness of just like a nice smooth ride. I think that's like kind of the most comparable kind of car that I've like done recently to put this next to, because that's just more fast all the time kind of deal, you know? Like, it's not really one that you're gonna take around town and go to the store or whatever, but I feel like this is a car that like you can do that in. So honestly, this compared to the GT4 RS, this is a winner in my book. Oh my God. Especially, oh my God, with the quick acceleration like that. Holy cow. Oh my gosh, fast cars are just so much fun. Yee. This car, it's just so easy to go so quick, like so fast, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like at the GT4 RS, like you kind of had to push it into those like deep RPMs to really pull the power out of it, because it was like kind of so like track focused and driven, and that's like kind of the way it's meant to be driven. But like this car is just like kind of scaled back a little bit, so that you do get that nice relaxation, but you also get the really fast punch when you need it, and then when you want the heavy performance aspect, that's there for you as well. Now for my 3 favorite features. 1 has to be the front end redesign. I think it just makes this car look super mean, super menacing on the road. 2 has to be, honestly, its size. It kind of feels smaller than it looks, and I think that really helps the performance and the handling, and it just kind of throws you around, and it's super fun to be in. 3 has to be that V10 in the back of this thing. You literally have that big old V10 bull strapped to your back, and you get all of that power of the Lamborghini for half the price. Now, for my Riley ranking, I'm probably going to go an 8.7 on this awesome Audi R8 because of all the things I said before, but I'm a little underwhelmed with the interior. It is very driver focused, but I felt like there could be a little bit more technology within the insides and things like that. A little too many things that are just like kind of going unnoticed by Audi when they should be, you know, a little bit more refined and things like that. So overall, I think it's a really super fun and awesome car. I would own it. I mean, look at it. What else can you say? And if you thought this car was cool, you have got to go check out the others that I have reviewed. Which reduces aero. No. A few things to note is the no, that was so good. Which is this car, revs too, sorry. Is a full Capristo, is it Capristo? In the mod performance, which, hold on, this is the Audi R8 performance. Okay, yes. Okay, got it. There's some terrible roads back there.